Hello everyone, this is Anna. It's time to pull some more cards from the Oracle of the Magical Fairy Forest. This is our final week of our Kickstarter, so if you're super excited to get this deck in your hands and you haven't already pre-ordered it, come on over and get your deck now. This is your last chance, and I'll leave the link for you down below. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and pick some cards for this week. So I've decided to do things a little bit differently this time. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the deck, and you get to choose 1, 2, or 3, or you can pick 2 or all 3 of them. So whatever feels right to you, that is going to be your message. And then at the very end, I'm also going to randomly open the journal and just ask for an additional message for all of us. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the deck, and as always, feel free to set an intention or ask a question, and then choose a card, 1, 2, or 3, or as many as you wish, and then simply allow yourself to receive whatever messages resonate with you the most. That is what you need to hear today. And this is going to be a message for this week or whenever you find this video. All right, here's the message for everyone who picked card number 1. This is Remember Your Magic. It's card number 2 in the deck. You are a powerful creator. Reclaim your magical gifts. So this card is really about remembering your magic, remembering how powerful you actually are, and ultimately remembering who you truly are. This card was really inspired by a vision I had during a medicine journey this past fall. And in this vision, I saw myself as a divine spark of consciousness, so to speak, trying on different bodies here on Earth. And I really loved a body that was kind of a hybrid between a human being and a pixie and a forest elf. And then I just realized how flexible and magical that body was in a way. So I could just jump really high and fly around and climb trees really easily. And there were so many things that I was able to do that typically I can't do in a human body. But then I got the message that the only difference really was that this part of me simply remembered the magic, and that's why I was able to do all these things. And so my fairy guides really encouraged me to kind of remember in this lifetime how magical I really am, and ultimately just believe that I can do magical things and then see what happens. Of course, it will manifest a little bit differently in the human experience, but this is really encouragement for you, especially if you're feeling a bit stuck on your journey, or you're feeling uninspired, or you just feel like the magic and even the joy is missing in your life. Then just take a moment to reconnect with that divine spark that's inside of you, and that's part of all of us. And be open to all the possibilities that are available to you, and then allow that magic to work through you and live through you, and then see how it changes your reality and your experience. Okay, so I'm going to put this card away now and look at card number 2. If you picked card number 2, then your message is the Sacred Pause. This is card number 29, and the message is, it's time for a break, surrender to the stillness. And this was actually the very first card that we created for this deck. This was kind of our test card that we used to develop the layout for the cards and just kind of the basic style. So this is always going to be special to me, and I really love this card still. And yeah, so the message of this card really is about surrendering to the sacred pause, so to speak. And yeah, so if you feel like nothing is moving in your life right now, or you're just feeling a bit stuck, or maybe you're also feeling exhausted or tired or you've been just doing a lot and running around and really busy, this is an invitation to really embrace time to rest. And even and especially if you feel like you can't afford to take a break, it's really important to give yourself that time and space to reconnect with the stillness within you and to give your body the time it needs to be nourished. So the message here really is that you're not always creating just by doing. That is kind of the illusion that we often get into on the human journey, that we feel like we constantly need to be doing something to be more productive and to create all the things that we want to create and experience in this life. But there's also a magic that happens when we allow ourselves to rest and then allow our greater intelligence, the universe, life itself, whatever you want to call it, to work its part of the magic and do all the things that we can't do consciously or when our logical mind gets into the way too much as well. So allow space for magic and see what happens as a result. And often you'll just notice that when you give yourself time to rest and when you take a break, that obstacles or seeming challenges will just kind of resolve on their own and without your doing, simply because you're releasing the resistance. Okay, now let's look at card number 3. This is the Young Wizard. This is card number 18. Trust your magic. You were born innocent. I really love this card. I mean, I have so many favorite cards in this deck. This one was specifically inspired by my partner, Christopher. And yeah, so when I first came to Ontario a little more than a year ago, he would always make these chocolate drinks. And we actually still do this today, but he would make me a chocolate drink every morning. And he used those mason jars to mix the drinks. And I don't know how well you can see it in the video, but you might be able to see the cat here as well. So this is our cat, Ginger. And she always loves to hang out with us, and especially with Chris in the morning. He always gets up quite early. I like to sleep a little bit longer in the mornings. And yeah, so the message of this card really is to trust your magic, as it says, and to reclaim the magic of your inner child. So a lot of us have, well, if you identify as a magical being on some level, whether you're aware of it consciously or not, a lot of us have soul memories or past versions of us that were somehow attacked for being magical or condemned for being magical, or yeah, we all know what happened in the Middle Ages and the witch hunts and all that. And so we somehow accumulated those beliefs on a soul level that there's something wrong with our magic, whether we truly believe that or we're simply afraid of being judged. And so this is really an invitation to reclaim the magic of your true being and remember that you're beautiful and perfect as you are. There's really nothing wrong with you, and the magic simply is your pure divine creative spark within you that nothing can ever take away from you, and that is really the magic of the inner child as well. So have fun with your magic and yeah, simply allow your natural magic to work through you in the most beautiful, playful, fun, and creative ways. All right, now let's open the journal. This is the companion journal that goes with the deck. This is an optional add-on, so it's not included in the deck by default. There is a guidebook that comes with the deck, but the journal is just an optional add-on that you can use to dive a little bit deeper into the medicine of the deck. It has additional messages and some practices that you can work with, and then also some journaling questions to reflect on. And yeah, so you'll see in a moment if you haven't seen it before. So I'm just going to open the journal randomly. and ask for an additional message for all of us. Okay. So here she is. This is card number 5 in the deck, Wild and Free. And the funny thing is I actually pulled this card for my Instagram stories or Instagram reels earlier this week. You can also find it on YouTube on my Wonderland Publishing channel. And so, yeah, it's kind of interesting that this message is coming up again. I pulled 2 cards on that day and both of them had fire in them. So that's just something I want to point out here. And I'm just going to read from the book, Wild and Free. Who would you be if you no longer cared about any rules or expectations imposed on you by others? If you stopped trying to fit into boxes that weren't made for you, what would become possible for you? Embrace your most true and natural self. Dance, sing, play, run wild. Come to life as the unbridled paradigm changer you were born to be. And then I'm going to read the ritual for this card. So there's a practice for every single card in this deck, and some of these are more like spiritual practices like visualizations or meditations, and some of them are more down-to-earth practices that you can implement in your daily life to really embody the medicine of the deck or the card. Spend time connecting with your most free and unrestrained self. How does this version of you look, feel, speak, and act? How does she or he do life differently? Allow yourself to receive the vision. Look for ways to embody more of your wild self as you return to your daily life. What changes are you being called to make? So really take some time. This is a visualization first, so you can take some time to really visualize that part of yourself and just talk to her or him and connect and just really receive what that part of you is really asking to express as well. And then go ahead and embody that part of yourself more. So this is really your most authentic and liberated self here in the human realm as well. The affirmation is, I embrace my most free and authentic self. And then I'm going to read the journaling questions as well. So for every card, there is space to journal freely, and then there are at least 3 questions that are a little bit more specific and that you can dive into to just feel into some aspects of the medicine of the card that might be helpful for you. So question number 1, in which areas of your life are you craving more freedom? What does being truly free mean to you? And then the final question, this is a little bit different. How can you live in greater harmony with nature? So one aspect of this card really is about reconnecting with your most natural self as well. So this can mean your most authentic self in the human realm, but it also has an aspect of connecting with nature more and just living a life that is more aligned and in harmony with nature, which also ultimately is the same thing and helps us reconnect with our most authentic and natural way of living. So the way our bodies are designed to function most optimally here in the 3D world or in the physical world here on this planet. We realize that everything is connected. We are part of nature and we are nature. And so when we listen to what is natural for us in a very physical way as human beings, as part of nature, then that also helps us reconnect with what is most authentic for us on a soul level too. All right, I think this is everything I have for you today. Once again, this is the final week of the Kickstarter. You have time until Saturday to get your deck. So if you want to get this deck and you haven't already, come over to our Kickstarter and pre-order it now. I'll leave the link for you down below. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to be back with more very soon.